All right, welcome everyone to our 11 a.m. session. Today's topic is Entrepreneur and Small Business, the industry recognized credential. We do have three presenters with us today for this one. We have Amy Bigelow, Jennifer Stubblefield, and Sunday Moriah Toto. I hope I said your name correctly, Sunday. Good. So they are presenting today on the industry recognized credential for entrepreneur and small business. I am really excited about this one. I think this class is this curriculum could be a great class for students. They get real world experience. You could partner this with the previous presentation was on social media marketing, just really relevant and timely for our students to be engaged with what's happening in their school and in their world. So I'm very excited to have them here today, and I'm anxious to learn more about this industry recognized credential. Do you ladies have a presentation? Do you need to share your screen? Yes. Okay. So I am going to stop sharing and you can share.
Like
I'll
explain
just
it?
kind of start by saying, you guys, good morning and happy New Year. Thank you so much for joining us today to discuss the Entrepreneurship and Small Business Certification. My name is Amy Bigelow, and I am the Ohio Territory Manager for Certiport. I also have Jennifer Stubblefield and Sunday Moriototo joining me today. Jennifer will start by discussing the entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship and small business certification. And then Sunday will discuss the curriculum that I highly recommend for the entrepreneurship and small business certification. Once they've completed their presentations, we'd be happy to answer any questions that you guys might have. Let me start by introducing Jennifer. Jennifer is an award-winning teacher who started an industry certification lab in Kentucky. She produced some of the nation's top passing rates. Her specialty was Microsoft Office Specialist and Entrepreneurship and Small Business. Upon retirement, she came to work for Certiport, where she is a cheerleader for all things certification and offers direct teacher support for educators. Jennifer, are you ready?
I'm ready. And in fact, everyone, because I am a teacher, a timer, because I'm so scared that I'll just get going on this. And then Lisa, once I get started on it, I don't know how to start. So I'm starting the timer. Okay. Good morning, everybody. I'm coming to you from my home office here in Kentucky. I'm just a little south of you guys. It takes me probably 6 hours to get to Cincinnati, if that helps you a little bit to understand where I'm at. I'm down here in far western Kentucky. To tell you just a quick story before I get started. I've been in your seat many days. After Christmas break, you're at PD. Can I tell you a secret? I need everyone's attention. I've been to some really bad ones, where you just think, why am I here, right? So when I talked to Amy earlier and she said, I've got these Ohio teachers that are wanting this PD and it's about ESB, I said, ooh, tell them the truth. I said, please let me come.
Yes.
I added this certification to my classroom in Kentucky after I'd been doing the Microsoft certification for 20 years. I did not teach this course as a standalone class. Lisa, I love what you said earlier, as you were saying, I didn't have time. I had this much, time and this much content. Does that sound familiar? So I did not have time. So as you hear me talk for the next 13 minutes and 40 seconds, know that I did not have a standalone class. I put this into my existing content. I had 8 business classes. So we traded it, made sure we covered all the content in our classes, and then we offered to our students as seniors. That's how we did it. And I don't know if you guys are FBLA, DECA, PBA, whatever you are. If you're listening to me, I'm an FBLA person. We got horses, we got hay, Kentucky rules FBLA. That was me as an advisor.
019.
I also put this into my FBLA program. So as I say what I'm about to say, just know all of that I did not offer this as a standalone class, so it can easily be done. All right, let's get going here. And let me share my screen. This is always that moment where you think, is it going to work, right? Here we go. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, Amy, thank you. All right. So I want to get going pretty quick here. Just some advice from a fellow teacher. My grandmother always taught me to strike while the iron is hot. Now shake your head. I only got a few of you that have video on. I wish I could see your faces, but shake your head if you know what that means. To strike while the iron is hot. It means you better act while the getting is good, right? Well, folks, the iron is hot. What happened during COVID? Take a look at the screen I've got. What happened to the number of new business formations after COVID? Take a look at that graph, folks. It's incredible. It's incredible what happened. I'm one of them. I started a little side hustle during COVID, right? I get that graph. Take a look at this. 46% of all employees in the U.S. work for a small business. You know, I work with some schools now that have, 10,000 teachers. Well, at my school, we had 40. So I understand that small business network, but folks, so do most Americans, right? Then, oh, sorry, went the wrong way. I guess my question for you is, are your students starting businesses? Yes, they are. And you know it. You know about what they're doing. Even when I started teaching in the 90s, my kids had businesses, but nothing like they did when I retired in 2020. Nothing. Kids are starting businesses right and left. And hear me say this. Are you ready? You may be the only person in their life that ever teaches them formally what it takes to run a small business and be an entrepreneur. Strike while the iron is hot, my friends, my teachers. There's never been a more exciting time to talk about entrepreneurship and small business. Now's the time. Our community wants it. Our parents want it. And the kids are going to do it. So why aren't we in there helping them? That's what I asked myself. The ESB test has lots of things. And again, I'm watching my timer. Yeah. Number one, there's a stamp on our ESB test that says these big think tanks say this is good. And to me, when I go to buy something at Kroger, I would love Jolly Green Giant green beans. That's what I wish I could afford. Can't anymore. So I go for the Kroger brand, right? Not this test. This is the real deal. The big think tanks in America say this is the test. I think that holds validity for our students. Next, I had a teacher one time, the state is not yours, who asked me, how do I know what's on the test? And I just kind of froze. And I thought, what do you mean? How do you know what's on the test? She said, well, how do I know what to teach? And that's maybe on us. The objectives for this test, what you need to teach, it's on our website. I printed them out in color, front and back, by going to the board office and having it done, because I didn't have a color back and front printer. Do you? Anyway, so I got it done, handed it to all my kids, and my students knew what was on the test. Now you're thinking they may have made paper airplanes out of that. Maybe. Not all of them. They heard me say those words. They saw the words. And then when they got on the test, they were in familiar territory. Does that make sense? Moving on, out of sight, out of mind. I made sure those objectives were in front of me when I made my lesson plans. And I took a Sharpie and I marked it out, proving to myself, my students know that. I don't have to teach that again. Let's move on. I'm covering this content. And then, just in case you're wondering, it's a 50-minute test. It's drag and drop, multiple choice. What's the best, scenario? It's math heavy. Now hear me. Don't anybody take a deep breath. It's math heavy. But do you know the kind of math it is? It's the kind of math kids are going to use every single day. It's the kind of math you do every day as a homeowner. It's the kind of math you do every day as someone who balances your checkbook. It's the kind of math many times our students can't do. It's the kind of math that's going to make them successful. For example, you go to the Gap and you buy a pair of jeans that are $79. They're 20% off on a New Year's sale. You buy them in Kentucky at 6% tax. What's the price of the jeans at checkout?
Mhm.
Ooh, I am sorry to say that many students in our country cannot do that math. That's the kind of math our small business and entrepreneurial kids need to know, right? Moving on for time's sake. If anything, I'm real. I'm a Southern girl who's real, and I'm going to tell you some real things right now as someone who's maybe sitting there thinking, I might need to offer this, or I just started, or this is something I'm interested in. If you want a train wreck, go ahead and ask the kids to do something that you haven't. I've been there, done that. Oh, goodness gracious. It was always a train wreck. If you are interested in this, Amy is sitting right here on this call. She will give you a free voucher to take this test yourself so you can try before you buy. It's the best thing I ever did, is that I made sure that even if I failed it, I had taken it, because that made me better, empathetic for one thing, because I had empathy for the test. But I understood what the kids were about to do. Our company does that for you. We'll talk later about that. Moving on. You think I'm an expert in all things? No, you can ask my husband. I'm certainly not. But you know what? I knew people. Do you know people? I brought them into my classroom, and heck, half the time when they came in and were talking about the same things I had tried to talk about, when they said it, the kids suddenly listened. You know what I mean? Bring in guest speakers to help you cover this content. Moving on. I loved field trips. I took field trips all the time. To this day, my students tell me, they'll say, oh, remember that time we went to? Yes, I do remember. They learn about entrepreneurship and small business ideas every moment they're in an elevator, a hotel, in an airport, watching businesses run. That's where they learn hands-on. I called them PODs. And if you're taking notes, write this down. I'd be in the middle of teaching debits and credits, or I'd be in the middle of teaching my unit on sexual harassment, or I'd be in the middle of teaching Excel spreadsheets, and I'd say, time out, POD. And the kids would go get my fishbowl. And not me, I'd have a kid reach in there, they'd pull out one, and it was the problem of the day. And it was always math related. It was something dealing with math. It made it real. It was a good commercial break. It was a great teaching technique. It's how I covered much of the entrepreneurship and small biz content. Moving on. There's something called geometrics, and it's practice tests, and I can't talk to you enough about it. We have great curriculum that have practice tests. We have engines that have these practice tests that simulate our tests very similarly. I used it as a gatekeeper. If they couldn't get past that gatekeeper test, then they didn't have the privilege of setting for the real test. That's how I did it. I dangled the carrot. It worked. Moving on, because I have 4 minutes and 45 seconds. There is no curriculum that we can sell you that's better than you. Yeah, I work for a software company, and I just said that. There's nothing that's going to replace you. If you think about offering this to your program, you are the number one resource. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be the end all, do all, know all. I just said that. But it does mean that your excitement and your buy-in into this test, and you're showing your community and your superintendent what it can do, and the big think tanks that are putting their stamp on it, it can make your district stand out. It can make your school stand out. It all comes down to you. And I say that with as much real as I can. Once I got bought in, the kids followed, and it was easy. Moving on. Resources. I'm going to suggest that you think about your school clubs as an added something that you're already doing. You're already doing school clubs. Once I figured out that my FBLA winners and my top entrepreneurship and small business test takers were the same people, you talk about winning. We brought home every award everywhere we went in competitions. Once I figured that out, it wasn't rocket science, but once I figured out to stop doing 2 and make it 1, it was a fantastic idea. I'm going to introduce you quickly to some of my best and my brightest. Kayla, Emily, and Ellie were some of my best and my brightest. 4.0 valedictorians. I didn't have a 4.0. No. But they had taken all my classes. They had every certification you can imagine. And they were my best and my brightest. Wherever I put them, they won. They went all the way to nationals and FBLA. Here's my point. They came to me one day, and I know my face betrayed me. I know it did. And they said, can you write letters of recommendation for us to go to school? Absolutely. Dear Procter & Gamble, dear Ernst & Young, and they said, it's going to be to the Ezel Cosmetology School. And I thought, what? No. I didn't say it. Being honest with you, I thought it. Shame on me. Because what have I done for 4 years? I put this entrepreneurial fire underneath them, and they got bit by the bug. And they knew they wanted to own their own businesses. And as my daddy would say, Katie, bar the door because you better get out of their way. If you want a haircut, you better have short hair because you're not going to get in with any of those 3 girls because they're so booked. They're making more money than I ever did in teaching. I can tell you that. Mm-hmm. They name their own schedule. They have their own salons. They're doing incredible. And it's because they saw that they can combine some skills. Don't take it from me. Let's take it from them. This is a quote. Let me see if I can move my screen so I can see it. This is a quote from Ellie. Studying business principles and getting certified in ESB prepared me for the career skills that I never knew I would need as a cosmetologist. Time management concepts to help me schedule clients efficiently. Money management concepts that enable me to keep track of expenses and revenue and figure profit. And most especially the marketing skills that I use every day to promote and build my business have been invaluable to me. While I would like to say I'm skilled in hair and makeup, I'm also happy to say that my business skill game is pretty strong as well. I can't do one without the other. It's not my words. And moving on, this is Emily's quote. Choosing a career was scary. Finally, I took the advice of many who told me to find 2 things that I was really good at and combine them. I loved my business classes in high school, and I was so proud of the certifications I'd earned. I also loved hair and the feeling of helping others feel their best. My business training and concepts like budgeting, customer service, building relationships, public speaking, organization, telephone skills, and most importantly, being confident and assertive in your ability to make quick decisions. All of these have served me well in my career. My business is booming, and when I look back, I can connect the dots. I couldn't have just one skill set. I now see that I had to have them both. And that's from Emily. I hope I've given you a quick overview. And folks, listen to that. I'm telling you, Amy, I don't know. Maybe somebody send me a package of Tootsie Rolls or something. I don't know. But folks, there's my email on the bottom. My name is Jennifer Stubblefield. I'm a former teacher just like you. And my only job at Certiport now is to help teachers teach. It's my job. I am in your back door. I'm here to help. And I thank you for your time. And at the end, I'm going to stick around if there's any questions.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. You're amazing. I love watching all of your presentations. Next, I would like to introduce Sunday. Sunday is the Senior Partner Account Manager at CCI Learning. She is a subject matter expert for CCI's Learning's educational materials, such as ebooks, books, and digital platforms Jasper Active and Experience XD. Sunday will go ahead and go over the curriculum that, like I said earlier, is what I highly recommend you implement when offering the entrepreneurship and small business certifications. Sunday, are you ready?
Thank you so much, Amy. Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. I'm just so excited to be here and talk to you all. And just hearing Jennifer go through the entrepreneurship and small business certification, I mean, it's a no-brainer that it's something that it should be offered to, I feel like, everybody, right? And when I look back, I mean, not that years back, but in high school, I wish someone told me about this, right? Because I wish I took the certification then and I had it on my resume. And just to find out about it now, I went ahead and, you know what? I went ahead and challenged myself to the certification. And obviously the first time I did not pass, but what I did is I went through and I found a curriculum that worked for me, right? So that's why CCI Learning and Certiport and Gmetrics, we partner all together to make sure that your student has the complete pathway that's ready for them to take, not only do the learning piece, to learn the piece, but also practice it and then be ready when that time comes and they're taking the certification exam, then they're ready to take it and they're ready to excel in it. And just adding that to their resume when they go out to the world to apply for jobs, that gives anybody a leg up, right? Because they already have these foundations, they've taken the information, they're ready to take on the world, and they have that certificate on their resume. So I would encourage every teacher to talk to your students about it. They'll get excited once they see the information that they're learning. And who doesn't want to be their own boss these days, right? Who doesn't want to take all their creative talents and put them into a certification like this and have it right on their resume? And when the time comes for them to show their ability and what they're capable of, it's right there for them. So I would definitely encourage every teacher to introduce this in their classroom, have it as a spare, add it to your curriculum. And like I said, there's so many different ways that we can work this into your curriculum. But the first thing I wanted to show you is CCI Learning. We specialize in different learning materials. So one of the main ones we have right now that we've released is Experience Education Differently, which what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share my screen here and dive in actually Experience Ed and show you the platform. I can talk to you about it, but I would rather have you see it yourself. So let me just quickly share my screen and make sure I share the sound at Zoom, as we are still 3 years later adjusting to all the communication platforms post-COVID. Awesome. Let me just share here with you. Everybody's able to see my screen okay?
Yes.
So this is called Experience Education. The amazing thing about this new platform that we are introducing here at CCI Learning is it's not only that it's completely mapped to the certification exam. So we work with Certiport so that we are mapping the curriculum to cover the objective domains for the exam. So like I said, when your student goes through it, by the end of it, they're ready to take the exam and they're ready to excel in it because they've learned it throughout and it covered every single aspect that they need to know about the certification. Now, the other thing too is the platform, as you're looking at it, is browser-based. So it's completely browser-based. The student doesn't need anything except for internet for them to literally open it up. And there's no install required, right? So they can literally, and they can use it on any device. So it doesn't matter if they are using an Apple, a MacBook, a PC, iPad, Chromebook, they're able to use this. And I know a lot of schools, especially, we all learned from post-COVID how a lot of districts were giving schools Chromebooks and different platforms to use for the students to work from home and a hybrid for them to work in classroom as well. So this is completely browser-based. They don't need to install anything. They just put on the browser and you pop it right up, you sign in and you have your curriculum there ready to go. And the other cool thing too about this is that it does a lot of the auto grading for you. So once the student goes through and does all their exercises, it automatically grades the exercises. And this is, I know it's like all teachers sitting here and it's like music, right, to your ears. When I say auto grading and saving you time, I know that's something that every teacher wants to try out. And so Experience Ed had the ability to do both of this for you. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly log in here. This is what the platform looks like. Comes with your dashboard, progress, resources for the instructor and the learner. So up top, you'll see you can flip between an instructor and a learner. So we'll go into the learner phase and show you that. And then I'm going to head back to the instructor phase and show you an item there as well. So when you start Experience Ed, it lays out for you the different less units that you have. So we have about 4 units for the entrepreneurship and small business. And each unit is divided into different lessons. Now, for each of the lesson, for example, if we go to types of businesses. So it starts out everything from foundational concepts, and then it goes to different principles with the math also included for the student to practice through here. And as you see, we have different types questions and exercises. So there is everything from choose, it includes questions from drag and drop, fill in the all true or false. So there is also different exercises so that it keeps the student engaged, right? Nobody wants a curriculum that's boring, or they're just going to sit there and not feel that they're taking ownership or part of their learning material. So this really keeps the student engaged. We also have when they go through the task. So they'll put through the task, and if once they finish the task, they'll click on the check mark, and it either checks it for them or shows them, and then or puts it or shows them what they've done right or what they haven't done right, and then they can retry, right? The other thing too, we have embedded in here, and this is such a powerful tool, is the immersive reader. Now, if you have students in your classroom that need accessibility reasons, right, we have immersive reader embedded right in this little icon here. So as they're going through, it can actually read it out loud for them. So when I skip through and go through the study materials here that we have added, so as Amy was telling you, that we at CCI Learning, we not only do digital platforms, but we have ebooks as well. What we've done is we've taken our ebook and we've embedded right into the platform. So as the student is going through and going through those exercises, they have the ebook as an online library that they can kind of quickly click onto, reference some of the information, read through really quickly, and then jump back into their task and then finish those tasks. It might help them do it right the next time over. And this button here with the immersive reader, when they click on it, and this is embedded right in, they can read it out loud for them, right? So
types of businesses. Businesses can be put into different types.
So this can read, and this can help definitely with accessibility options for your students. The other thing that can help with too is the immersive reader can help with giving different type of languages. So if you have a few students that are Spanish speaking or French speaking, you can use immersive reader and switch over the language on here to a different language. So for example, if we switch this over to Spanish or French or so on, and then you choose the whole document, it can switch the whole document to that language, and then it will read it for you.
Type d'entreprise. Les entreprises peuvent être classées en...
So there's different type of ways to use the immersive reader, such a powerful tool. The second thing we've added is the quick decks. The quick deck serves as a flashcard, if you want to think about it. I mean, some of us old school would still use a flashcard, right? But with the students now, it's easy for them to have it right online, right on the platform, right? They can use here the flashcard, have what the word is, the key term, turn it around, and it gives you the information. And they can browse through this as they're studying, but they're really practicing what they're studying at the same time, right? And have these additional materials handy. And also what it does is it serves the needs for and includes, right, differentiated learning. So we have students that are visual, some that like to read, right, and some that want the quick flashcards just to have those quick points. And what it does is it's inclusive to different learning styles, right? So you're doing multiple things, you're engaged, you're busy, you're taking ownership of your learning process. The quick clip is another add-in that we've done. This is brand new, and the part of the quick clip is, again, for our visual learners to just have that quick clip on here that they can click on.
Is when one person owns and runs the business all by themselves. They have complete control and are responsible for all.
And as you see, they can watch that as well. And through every stage in their learning process, they have these three resources. Study materials that they can go back to, and then they'll go back on here and do their tasks. So these three are very, very powerful to include, like I said. The other thing I wanted to say too is not only does it cover 100% exam coverage, but we've partnered up with G-Metrics as well, where I know you've heard Jennifer just talked about geometrics being the cert prep. So when you get this curriculum, it's available to you, and you can definitely demo it through us. And when you're ready to purchase it with Amy, we do have a bundle that you can purchase all together. So you can have the curriculum, and you can have geometrics cert prep for students to go through the preparation for the exam, and then you can get the exam voucher as well from Amy, so that you can have the entire platform for the students. The other thing I wanted to show you is I'm going to quickly jump back here, and I know we're going to have questions later at the end, but I'm just quickly going to jump back here, and I want to show you the instructor resources. Now, the cool thing about when we're working at CCI Learning, we work with a lot of teachers. We have some awesome former teachers. And the reason being, we have focus groups with a lot of teachers, and part of our development team and product team being former teachers, because obviously we want to talk to the people that's going to not only be using it, but they will know the classroom best. They're going to know exactly what the students need. So we've gotten a lot of feedback, and part of what we've added is the instructor resources. So the teachers can go right here and download instructor resources. And when they download instructor resources, this option is available here. And as you see, we're working for different courses, but we'll focus today on the entrepreneurship and small business. They can download instructor resources package. And you as a teacher, when you download this instructor resources package, it has everything from lesson notes, PowerPoint slides that we've added in, key terms, unplugged activities. So for example, one of the resources that we have is this overview here, that it will give you as a teacher all the course mappings, right? This is very powerful tool because it helps you with preparing for your class. It gives you the timings that you need. It has the options for you to see where the objective description is. So you have that information handy. And we have this with every single unit. So every of the 4 units, you'll have a breakdown of the lessons, the timings, all the different mappings, and you also have the objective, where that fits with the objective domains. The other thing I wanted to show you too is every with a complete answer key for the quizzes. It also comes with each of the lesson will have a PowerPoint presentation. So we've added this on here so that the teachers have this available for you to prepare for your class. So it has all the different PowerPoints. You can go through this yourself before even your student starts with the class, and this will help you in administering the class for the students. The other cool thing too that was added is the unplugged activities. So let me just go quickly right back here and then see if I can show you the unplugged activities as well, because I love this so much, because I know how teachers appreciate some of these being broken down, but also these resources being added. Now, an example of the unplugged activities, which actually you can probably download, print out, and give to the students if they are bored and they want additional things to work on. We have word search, activity crossword puzzles, right? So we've added so much unplugged activities. I don't think anybody would be bored in your classroom because you have so much that they're going through and they're using throughout this information. So we've added really cool items like this for you through. The other last thing I wanted to add is that, again, for you attending with us today, what I want to make sure is everyone is able to demo this themselves, right? So I want to be able to extend to you a time so that if you give Amy all your information, right, just like your school name, your first and last name, and your email address, I will be sending you a 60-day demo for you to go through this yourself, see how you love it, see if it's something that would work out for your students, and let us know. And we're happy to definitely give you, yes, I'm going to send over the link of the curriculum and all the information that you need, but also a 60-day demo for you as the teacher. Go through it yourself, because again, as Jennifer was saying, there's nothing like when we take the certification, but also the curriculum yourself. Then you see exactly what your student will be going through and what pathway they'll be following. And yeah, that's all I wanted to share with you. And I'll leave room for questions. And by the way, I did go through the platform and I went through the cert prep and I took the exam and I passed.
Yay! Thank you so much, Sunday.
You're most welcome.
We would love to open up for questions. One thing is, if any of you are, like both Jennifer and Sunday mentioned, I am happy to provide you with, again, working with Sunday, the demo for the curriculum. I can provide you a cert prep or G-Metrics practice exam demo, and I can also provide you with a free certification exam. That way you can take that certification exam to see how well it will fit into your classroom experience. What I would need is, and I'll put this information in the chat, is your email address, and the name of your school. The reason I need the name of your school also is to see if you're already set up as a Certiport testing center. If you're not, I will send you directions on how to do that. That is free of charge. But by becoming that Certiport testing center, it allows you to certify and proctor your students right in the classroom they're learning in. This way, you're not trying to put them on a bus and ship them somewhere. You will be able to do all of that right in your classroom. So I'll enter that information. Does anybody have any questions for me, Jennifer, or Sunday?
Can you go over a little bit about cost for bundles or cost for the test itself?
Yes. So what I have, and I'm seeing some of these that are coming through. Do you want me just to copy all of these people? Is that the easiest way to do that? To send out? Again, I just have one hand, so I don't know if it would be easier if you guys could actually send me an email to amy.bigelow@pearson.com, and I will send you the information. I had hand and wrist surgery, so I'm pretty much down to my left hand right now. So, but I can actually dictate emails through my voice. So if you guys will just send me an email, that would make it so much easier for me to get you this information over. Pricing.
Amy, so, can you say your email again? I've got amy.bigelow@
pearson.com, and I put it in the chat. Yep, perfect. Thank you. So pricing just depends on how many students you guys are going to certify. We have pricing options where you can buy a voucher with retake, meaning if your student goes to take the exam, they don't pass that exam, within 30 days, they can retake the exam. We also have licensing options. And again, what I would do is work with each of you on the licensing to figure out if licensing is the better way, or if we would want to go ahead and offer just the vouchers. What I can tell you is right now, an exam voucher with retake is $72.80 per student per exam. So like I say, just kind of let me know, and then I would let you know what it would cost for, depending on how many students you have. For the curriculum, we start with a 100 user license. So I just need a better, like I say, understanding of how many we're going to test.
Can I chime in there, Lisa, for a second on that? I was the district that had no money. We had nothing. But I had Carl Perkins funding. And so Perkins funds, this is one of the best ways to use Perkins funding. And then on the years when I was really slim, I had the students buy in sometimes. I would say, if they were $70, the school would pay $50, but I got to have 20 from you. And you talk about a buy-in, when you get the kids, to help out. And sometimes I got donations. Here's what I'm trying to say. I never let money get in the way of me offering these programs, and it turned out to be the best thing, win-win for that. What I would like really fast, Amy, is I want one of these teachers to turn off their camera, so I can see somebody, and I want you to ask me a question. We're not getting out of here without a question. Come on. Lisa, you've had your camera on the whole time. I appreciate you. If you're a teacher, I love
No,
you
yeah,
so much.
I'm just trying to, how you hear information and you're trying to plot it out and figure out. I think it's great. Is this offered in every pathway? Do you know? I was trying to look it up on our on the department's website. I know it's in like business and agriculture, like but is it in other like entrepreneurship? Is it in other pathways like agriculture or? I was trying to look that up.
And we have worked with that. The problem that we've ran into recently is before we could actually apply and put this under each of the different categories, but now Ohio is requiring that a teacher or a local business require or request this. So if you would like to see the entrepreneurship underneath, more of those fields, we would just need you to fill that out with the requirement. It's already on the list underneath the business. We would just need you to require it to be placed under the other list. Again, we're thinking that ESB or entrepreneurship and small business fits in any and every sector of, you can go underneath, again, your cosmetologies, your home ex, your automotives, any of those, it would fit under. So, but we would need you as an instructor to fill that out and make that request because that's what Ohio is requesting now.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm working with agriculture with hydroponic farming, and the students are making all this produce and they're starting their own business to sell the produce. But sure. I was just looking and I didn't see it in there. So I was like, oh, darn it. All right. Thank you. But yeah, well, I'll figure it out. But thank you. Yeah, whatever I have to do, I'll try to do that.
There you go, Lisa. I love that attitude.
Yeah, if you want to reach out to me and let me know that you are interested in doing that, we have a person that works with Ohio, to get everything on the list. If you want to send that over, I'll put you in contact with her. She'll send over all the information you would need to be able to add that. It's not a very difficult process whatsoever. I just need people that are interested in getting it added.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
One of the biggest fields I get asked about all the time, Lisa, is agriculture, construction, welding. These students have these amazing hands-on skills, and then and we don't have time, but there's the neatest story out of Louisiana about underwater welders and plumbers who they had all these high skills, but then 3 years later, they were all unemployed working somewhere else. And you know what it all came down to with the research? They didn't know how to operate their own business. They thought they could go out and do all these things because they had the skills, and they did, but they couldn't manage their money. They couldn't do this. And so I love that question, Lisa. That's exactly what this certification is designed to do.
Anything else? So I'm responding to Trisha. May. Trisha, the ESB certification, you will receive 3 points for the entrepreneurship and small business certification. That is actually worth the 3 points. You won't have to take any of the others in order to get those 3 points.
I'll throw my email in the chat too, just in case there's a teacher that has a question for me. I only get teacher questions. Pricing and all that's not me. But if you...
Yeah, please. And I'll handle all the pricing for you guys. But again, too, with Sunday offering, this 60-day demo, please take advantage of that. You will not be disappointed in this curriculum. So
I'm just adding my email as well so that everyone has it. Yeah, please feel free to reach out for the demo. Any questions about the curriculum itself, any questions about the product that you have, it will fit for your class or so on. Please do feel free to send me an email.
Questions about the test itself. You guys shared there were a lot of accommodations, modifications for the curriculum, like for English language learners. Are there also those kinds of resources available for the testing itself? Can the test be read to students? Can the test come in different languages, or are those two separate things?
Nope. We have an accommodations page. So if anybody needs accommodations, your students need accommodations, we have step-by-step directions on how to apply for those accommodations. Once they are approved, they are tied to your student's ID when they register as a test user. So anytime they go to take a certification exam, the accommodations that they've been approved for will already be generated in those exams.
Yeah, it's worse. I'm just gonna give me some pills. Pretty
Yeah.
much it's gonna keep getting worse my whole life.
And I'll answer to let's see, Melissa on the chat. She wanted to know how many adults can take the test. Certiport, I believes that every teacher has the right and should take the test before they think about adding this to their program. So every adult that's listening to this message, we want our teachers in America or anywhere to be able to take this test. So yes, yes is the answer.
Yep, Melissa, just let me know who's interested. And I, again, just need an email, name, email, and what the school, and I can get those sent over. Again, I guess I should reiterate this. If you are not already, though, a testing center, we will have to have you register first as a testing center to be able to take that certification exam. Once again, free of charge, very simple. I have very easy step-by-step directions on how to register. When you do take your certification exam, you will want another teacher to proctor you. All of our certification exams must be proctored. So, it's part of the integrity of these certifications. It's not just an exam, it is a proctored exam. But again, I've got all that information for you and can walk you through that.
And I'll chime in two things and then I'll hush. That's the thing I love about these tests. They're so valid. It's not just like a test that somebody can sit there and, have their cell phone out or what. No, I treated on test day in my classroom. It was just like the ACT. I checked their ID. We signed the non-disclosure agreement. I took up their phones. These tests are so valid. And that's why they're worthy, right? Number two, remember how I opened this about that we've all sat through some PDs that we were like, right? If you're looking for a good PD this summer, I'm going to do just a quick little advertisement. In 2015, I got a call that said, hey, we're starting this new conference down in Orlando. It's going to be called the Certified Conference, but it's all for teachers who are doing industry certifications. Certiport sponsors it. Would you like to come? Sure. Hands down the best conference I've ever been to. And I'm not biased. I was there 6 years as a teacher before I became an employee. If you are looking for a certification PD opportunity this summer on certifications, email me. It's on our website, but I'll be glad to talk to you about it. It's the best conference I've ever been to.
Thank you, Sunday. And Sunday actually just put a link in there for us about the certified conference.
You can definitely check it out. And I definitely second that. I've been to this conference a few times now, and every teacher that goes to it literally changes their lives because it's educators helping educators, and also you get a chance to talk about these type of certifications, what's going on, what's new, different perspectives. So we highly recommend this definitely conference for educators.
All right. Well, any other questions from the group? All right. Just in the chat, folks, we did put the link to if you want contact hours for this session. Please make sure that you click on that link. It will be the same one that you used earlier. You just choose the entrepreneurship and small business for the one that you attended, and you will get your certification. Thank you so much to Amy and Jennifer and Sunday. Great information. It definitely should be in more pathways. So I hope some teachers will be submitting it. I know I will be encouraging some teachers that I know to be submitting it for other pathways. So appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us.
And if you need help submitting that in other pathways, just let me know. We will assist you guys in getting that done.
Thank you all.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Have a great
Thank you so
day.
much. Have a great day.